In 2018, we embarked on a journey to design and build the second generation of Illini Solar car. As our first car, Argo had its shortcomings, and we were really eager to show that we are capable of creating something better. Since then, we've faced many ups and downs and challenges along the way. But 3 years later, we've emerged with a car that we believe is lighter, sleeker, and more efficient and more reliable than Argo ever was. So today, we are incredibly proud to present to you the newest generation of Illini Solar car, Brizo. But Brizo is more than that to us. It represents countless hours of work spent designing, building, and testing a project that we are all so passionate about. It tells the story of hundreds of students who have had a hand in its creation at the University of Illinois. What began as mere ideas in our minds have grown into something real and tangible. And through it all, we've become a smarter and stronger team. So as the sun sets on Argo, we are nearing a brighter horizon, because this is just the beginning for Brizo, and we are so excited to see what this car can do.
Hello, everybody. I would like to apologize for the technical difficulties we've been having. It's been pretty tough, but we will have the video for release later, so you guys can look at it and hopefully enjoy it in full capacity. To kick off the live event portion of this, I would just like to say, hi, everybody. My name is Tim Damish. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering and also the team president. Brizo was first conceptualized in 2018 at a local restaurant in Champaign. Since then, we have seen team members come and go, all putting a little piece of themselves into this car. Through the design and building of Brizo, our team members, past and present, have learned what it means to be an engineer, a designer, and a valued contributor to something greater than themselves. Brizo has many innovations from lessons learned with our first car, Argo. Most notably, Brizo is a bullet design rather than the catamaran style of car. We have also made substantial improvements on our battery box, allowing for better efficiency and better power management. Our front suspension has been completely overhauled to be a carbon fiber rod suspension, massively reducing the weight. All of these improvements are built upon the shoulders of our predecessors, and we hope that they will give us the edge in our competitions. We originally hoped to unveil Brizo March of last year before the pandemic changed our lives. However, despite the setbacks, we have persevered and managed to stay as a coherent team. I would like to thank the university for their tremendous efforts in keeping the students and faculty safe. It's really cool to be on a campus with such a robust testing program that allowed us to build Brizo safely and makes me proud to call myself an Illini. Today, we will have some of our team members talk about their experiences being on the solar car team, as well as our plans for the American Solar Challenge this upcoming summer. We are so excited to finally share Brizo with you. Now we will have Hungwa come up and talk about his experiences as a student.
Hi, my name is Hongbo Yuan. I'm a sophomore studying mechanical engineering here at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I joined the team almost 2 years ago now, and I've grown from a new member to the composites lead on the team. In the past 2 years, I've learned more about designing and manufacturing a solar vehicle than I would have ever imagined. Illini Solar Car will always be a crucial part in my professional development. When I first joined, I did not know anything about solar car or solar racing. As a freshman, all I knew was I wanted to join a project team. I did not have the knowledge to actually build a car. Nevertheless, I was welcomed as a new member. And our existing members were really patient and helpful with me. They helped me learn everything I need to build a solar car that was a success. Since joining the team, I've learned about composites layups, machining, mechanical design on various different systems in the car, such as suspension and steering. I've learned how to operate a water jet, how to use a CNC, and more importantly, I experienced the life of an engineer in industries. Personally, I'm lucky enough to join the team at the time we started to build Brizo. I believe experiencing and learning about manufacturing helps with the designing process. I now look forward to being a crucial part on the design team for the third car. Being on the team for the past 2 years, I've learned to balance my schoolwork with my work on the team. I've spent hours and hours on sanding the shells of the car. I've pulled many late-night building sessions with the team, from layups on the bottom shell to installing the suspension. I've enjoyed our many late-night dinner runs at 2 a.m. I've struggled to keep my eyes open in lectures the next day. But I believe the excitement of finishing even a small part on the car beats the tiring feeling of staying up late. I believe these are good memories, memories that I treasure, and memories that I would not replace with anything. Speaking about our fun late-night runs, I want to talk about how this team influenced me personally. As an international student, being in another country was tough for me at first. More importantly, in only my second semester here, the COVID pandemic hit us. However, as an inclusive community, Illini Solar Car welcomed me in and allowed me to meet so many talented people. People who are from different places all around the world, people with different cultural and academic backgrounds, and people who share the same goal, to build a race-winning solar vehicle. I have my brilliant people who I consider as my mentors, I have my teammates and coworkers that I've built great relationships with. I've had many conversations outside of Solar Car with them, and I've really enjoyed them. I'm delighted to have worked with them, laughed with them, watered with them, and I look forward to succeeding with them in the American Solar Challenge this summer. To tell you more about the American Solar Challenge, I'm going to hand it over to Priyo.
Sorry. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Priel, and I'm so excited to share our new car, Brizo, with you all and serve as race team captain for the upcoming American Solar Challenge this summer. I'm a senior studying computer engineering and have been on the team for the past 4 years. Anytime I'm asked, what is Illini Solar Car? Our standard response is that we are a group of students who build and race solar-powered vehicles. And while most of our time does go into building a vehicle, the second part of that statement is really why we do what we do. We race our vehicles at solar car competitions because it's a great way for us to show the world all the great work we do and really challenge ourselves to build a robust, efficient car. Competing at these races gives us an organized, real-world testing experience to push the limits of our car while sharpening our technical skills. While at these races, we also develop invaluable soft skills since we have to work closely together under high-pressure situations to solve any challenge we might face. The two most notable races, and the ones that we've gone to as a team, have been the World Solar Challenge and the American Solar Challenge. I joined the team my freshman year and attended the American Solar Challenge that summer in 2018, which went from Nebraska to Oregon. When I arrived at the race, I remember the whole parking lot was filled with solar cars from universities all over the world. The atmosphere was buzzing with the energy of all these young people who were so passionate and excited to show off their car. And while there's definitely a sense of competitiveness with these teams, there's also a great sense of camaraderie between us, whether it's sharing parts or tools to help another team get back on the road, or just knowledge sharing, some new ideas so that we can all improve together and bring better cars in the future. At the end of the day, that's why we want to race these vehicles. We're using and developing cutting-edge technology to show that it's possible one day to have an electric car powered by renewable energy and accelerate towards a more sustainable future. My main job on the race team that year was doing cones and flags, which meant anytime the solar car broke down on the road, I'd jump out of the car as fast as I could and start waving a flag so that traffic would be careful as they drove by. And even though now it feels like such a small task, I'm so grateful to have been able to go to the race that year because that experience really immersed me in the world of solar car racing and pushed me to get more involved. Now, 3 years later, after lots of learning, hard work, planning, as a former director of operations and the current battery management lead and a driver, I am leading our largest race team yet with our brand new car. This year, Brizo will be competing at the American Solar Challenge in late July, racing along this historic Santa Fe Trail from Independence, Missouri to Santa Fe, New Mexico, about 900 miles. One thing I appreciate about the ASC route this year is that it takes place along such a historic trail that used to have horse wagons on it 200 years ago and today has solar car races. I think this helps us appreciate how far we've come and imagine what may be traveling on these same routes in the future. We can't wait to see how Brizo does this summer, and again, I'm so grateful to be a part of this amazing team. And now I'll hand it over to John to thank the people who've made Brizo possible.
Hello everyone, my name is John Hahn and I'm a senior studying computer engineering here at the University of Illinois. As part of Illini Solar Car, I'm currently serving as the business lead on the team. And over the years, I've been involved in a variety of things from operations to engineering. But through all this, the one thing that has become very apparent to me over the last 4 years is that while we may be able to design an amazing car, without our sponsors, we'd be stuck at pen and paper. Our sponsors allow us to turn our dreams into a reality. While Brizo's journey is not yet over, our journey thus far has been made possible by hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals. The support of our sponsors, teammates, friends, and families is what allows us to push the boundaries of sustainable technology and impact so many students along the way. In particular, we'd like to thank some of our biggest supporters. First, the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department at the University of Illinois. As an orange and blue sponsor, the ECE department helps us every day in our operations. Running our team is a large operation, and we could not do it without them. We have so many individuals to thank from within the department, who helped us make this car possible. Next, I'd like to recognize the Student Sustainability Committee. SSC is funded by the campus and supports sustainable projects all across campus. Their work is continuously pushing the campus to a greener future. The SSC has funded a more efficient and lightweight array and motor for Brizo, which provide the potential for Brizo to be one of the best solar cars ever. Another invaluable sponsor of ours is TechMill. TechMill is a local machine shop that has been instrumental to our mechanical work. Support of TechMill is what allows us to build an all-new and improved suspension for Brizo. Next, I'd like to recognize the Student Organization Resource Fund. SORF, as part of the University of Illinois, funds a large number of organizations all across campus. SORF's support has funded a variety of Brizo's parts, for example, its battery with a greater capacity, which allowed Brizo to travel farther and faster. We could not have built Brizo without them. Finally, I'd like to recognize the Granger College of Engineering. The Engineering Design Council and the college's support has not only provided critical funding for our car, but has enabled the successful operation of our team by providing funding for our workspace and in addition to engineering support. As we move forward to demonstrate that Brizo is one of the world's best solar-powered cars, all thanks to the support of our sponsors, there are so many people and organizations that have made this car team possible, and we hope to make you all proud. We'll now move on to a question and answer panel. We'll answer your questions and tell you more about Brizo. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the YouTube chat. Now I'll welcome up our live panel. Welcome, everyone. So why don't we start with introductions?
Hi, my name is Tara D'Souza. I'm a junior in electrical engineering, and I serve as our Director of Operations.
My name is Michaela Lubers. I'm a junior in mechanical engineering, and I am the mechanical lead for Illini Solar car this year.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alok Kamatar. I'm a junior in computer science, and I'm the strategy and telemetry lead.
Hey, everyone. My name is Jared Partlow. I'm a senior systems engineering major here at Illinois, and I am electrical lead on Illini Solar car. Excited to be here.
Great. So our first question here is for Tara. How did you decide on the name Brizo for the car?
So we like to follow an alphabetical naming scheme with our cars. So our first car is called Argo, and we wanted Brizo to start with a B. We also like to have Greek mythology-themed names. So Argo is named after the story of Jason and the Argonauts, and Brizo is a Greek goddess who protects sea mariners. So that's how we picked the name for our car.
Very cool. I like the alphabetical naming scheme. All right, so our next question here is for Michaela. How many hours did you spend building Brizo?
So we've spent countless hours working on our computers at home, working together at the collaborative workspaces around the university, and being on site at our shop, just working on the design and building of Brizo. So it's been a lot of hard work, but it's all coming to fruition now.
Sounds like it's been a lot of effort. Our next question is, what type of solar cells does Brizo use? Alec, do you want to take that one?
Brizo is built with monocrystalline silicon solar cells from SunPower, and they're greater than 25% efficient. So that's almost a 20% improvement over Argo. So we're very excited about that.
All right, so next, Jared, can you talk about Brizo's battery?
Yeah, so the battery, it's made up of more than 400 lithium-ion cells. The nominal voltage is a little over 100 volts, and the capacity is about 5.5 kilowatt hours. So to put that in perspective, it could charge your iPhone about 1,000 times.
Well, that's definitely a lot of energy in there. All right, this next question is for all of you. What was the biggest challenge each of you has faced while designing Brizo? Yeah.
So as the Director of Operations, we've had to make a lot of adjustments during the pandemic to be able to continue operations as a team. So it was quite a bit of a challenge to figure out how to move operation that's so hands-on into a fully virtual environment for a lot of our new members. But thanks to the robust testing facilities here at the University of Illinois, we've been able to continue working in a limited capacity so we could finish our car for you guys this year.
On the mechanical side of things, I would say manufacturing has proven a lot of challenges there. Biggest, keeping everything in tolerance so that we can fit all of our parts together. But we're students, we're learning and growing, so eventually we'll get really good at this.
So I've been very on improving our race operations and our race decisions. So there's just so many different factors you have to consider, from the weather to different road grades and things like that. And designing that optimization problem and solving it has really been a tough algorithmic challenge and computational challenge. So.
Right, so we've faced a lot of obstacles in building Brizo. And yeah, one of the biggest challenges was building the battery. So with Brizo, we had to fit the battery into a much smaller space. We also designed a completely new battery management system, and all in all, we spot welded more than 600 batteries.
Sounds like you guys have persevered for a lot of different issues, and it's really impressive to see this car here today. Our next question is, how much does the car weigh?
So the car will weigh approximately 170 to 180 kilograms, which approximates to around 200 or so pounds. But we have yet to see what the exact weight will be.
That's very interesting. So next question we got here is, how much did the car cost to build, and what was the hardest item to purchase or obtain?
So all in all, we like to say that the cost of one of our solar cars is around the price of a decent-sized house here in Champaign. But we're very thankful to have a really great amount of sponsors who are very generous in their support that have helped us make our car possible. I would say probably the hardest thing to purchase, to find, was probably the solar cells. We have just about the most efficient solar cells on the market in the silicon variety. But we were very happy to be able to get them on our car, and we're excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, the solar array here looks really amazing just sitting in front of me. Our next question is, how does the driver enter and exit the car?
So the driver enters and exits the car through the canopy, which is that translucent thing that you see on the top of the car. They have to make their way through the roll cage and into the driver compartment. And then they exit the same way, and all in all, avoiding touching our very expensive solar cells.
That seems like quite a challenge to get in and out. All right, we got, sorry, I'm losing my place. Next question, how long does it take to charge the car? Jared, you want to take that one, or Alok?
So it really depends on the amount of sun we're getting. We estimate that overnight, so that's when we stop driving to in the morning, we get about 35% state of charge. So just extrapolating a little bit, peak hours, I think it'll take about 6 hours, 7 hours to get from 0 to full.
That's pretty nice. Next question from Michaela. When did you start designing and building Brizo?
So the initial conceptualization of Brizo started in the summer of 2017 after the team came back from the World Solar Challenge. But that was initial. So it really started picking up in the fall of 2018 when we started manufacturing our shells, and has been going on ever since.
Very nice. Next question we got. How fast can the car go?
So Brizo's maximum velocity is actually fairly similar to Argo's in that it's about 70 miles per hour. However, the car is built for endurance and efficiency, and that's where it really excels, is in endurance and efficiency.
Makes a nice segue for the next question we got here. Does Brizo have airbags, and how do you protect the driver when you're traveling at these speeds?
So there are many driver protections on the mechanical side. So we have a roll cage that goes around the driver to protect for possible rollover of the car. And our shell and chassis has been constructed using finite element analysis to see under certain loading conditions, such as impact, whether or not the driver would be safe. And we've proven through there that our car should keep the driver protected.
It's great that you're making sure the drivers are safe out there on the roads. Next, we got another question for Jared. What are the different electrical components of the car, and how do they work together?
Right, so we have in the electrical team on Illini Solar car, we have several different subsystems, like the wheel, the dash, battery management, power distribution. So there's we have to make sure that they communicate with each other. We have a variety of different microcontrollers throughout the car that all have to communicate and make sure that everything works together.
I know that's a very complicated system, so it's great to see that it's going to be working. How many people will we take to the race?
So we're very excited that this race, we're planning to bring our largest race team ever. So normally we try to bring around 20 to 25 students, but we might bring up to 30 this year, and we're really excited to see how it goes.
Sounds like a really exciting race. I can't wait to be part of it. Our next question here is, can the car charge while driving?
Yes, so that's actually where most of our charge comes from, because during the race we want to drive during the peak hours of the day. So it's very important that it charges while driving.
Very nice, very nice. All right. Let's see if there's any other questions coming in here. Otherwise, sorry, one second. Okay, here we got another question. Can you drive the car on a cloudy day?
Yes, as Jared mentioned, our battery pack is about 5.5 kilowatt hours. So as long as we still have charge in our battery pack, our car is good to go. Of course, we're going to use more energy out than in when it's a cloudy day than when it's a sunny day. So we prefer sunny days.
Yeah, I definitely think a solar car needs some sun. Okay, our next question we have here is looking more towards the future. Have you started thinking about Brizo's successor?
Yeah, so we've been keeping the third car in the back of our minds throughout the manufacturing of Brizo, and we're excited to very soon start the design process, and that'll incorporate a lot of people from the team to make sure that all aspects of the car are thought of ahead of time, so we can have a smooth transition as people come and go from the team. So yeah, we're very excited to get started on that.
Yeah, it's definitely great that we got so many different people involved in the design and building of this car. This kind of plays into our next question in here, which is, what part of the car are you all most proud of? We can have everyone answer this question.
So apart from operations, I've also been working on the steering wheel. So getting to see that coming together lately and all the buttons and controls that we've implemented has been really cool.
I've been involved heavily with manufacturing, so seeing all of our parts come together and the suspension especially has been really exciting for me, because it's always nice when things line up really nice.
So like I said, I've been working on kind of the race decisions, which is not exactly part of a car, but I'm really excited about the new program we've built for that. In terms of part of the car, I've spent a lot of time also helping with the batteries, so that's been a fun challenge, and I'm excited that they're now finished. So.
Right, so we talked a little bit earlier about how everything communicates on the car, but we also have to get information from the car to Alok's team, and I've actually been heading up the team within electrical that builds all the systems that collect the data and send the data off, and that's really proud of that. It's really important that we know that information, get that data so that we can make the right decisions during a race.
Sounds like there's a lot of complicated systems going on to this car and making it possible. Our next question Who would win in a race between Argo and Brizo? Maybe we'll have to try it sometime.
Brizo by a long shot. It's just lighter and more efficient with better solar cells. Yeah, Brizo every time.
I hope to see it happen. Next question. What happens if you run into a few cloudy days in a row during the race? Does the race end or stop?
Hopefully not. That's what the strategy team is supposed to manage. We're supposed to look at the forecast and decide how fast we can go. And if we see many cloudy days coming up in a row, we'll slow down and still try and manage our battery so we can finish the race.
So we're talking about how the car drives on the road. Is the car street legal?
Yes, our vehicle will be registered with the state of Illinois, and we will be able to drive on common roads and highways and all of that.
That's pretty crazy. How did you get the car into the building? It's sitting here in the atrium. I don't think I've ever seen a car here before. How did it happen?
So yeah, that was kind of a process. We had to carry it in through some doors and take out, that middle partition between the doors. So it was a process, but we got it through.
I'm glad to see it here. Next question. How safe is the car to drive?
Well, based on, at least on the mechanical side, our car, as per the regulations for our race, meets all the safety standards. We've tested many different impact conditions just to make sure that there's enough of a safety factor. So our driver will be fully protected from any mechanical failures.
And on the electrical side, yeah, we have a variety of different safety systems built in with sensors all over the car monitoring things like the battery current, temperature of different components, and we'll put the car into a safe state if anything starts to go wrong.
It's definitely good to see that it's a safe car. How many years do you think until we can start seeing commercial solar cars?
So I think it could be a while. Obviously, our car is built to be the most efficient car possible, but it's not exactly the most consumer friendly. We have very fragile solar cells. There's not a lot of space in the driver's compartment. But I think building these cars, it's really cool to see that it's possible, and maybe many years down the line, this will kind of pave the way for commercial solar cars.
Yeah, it'll definitely be really crazy to see what the future brings for electric cars and solar cars. Next question, is Brizo compatible with WSC 2021 regulations?
So we unfortunately don't meet 2021 World Solar Challenge regulations. They recently added an extra regulation about the driver compartment size, and they have this PVC mannequin called PVC Pat that has to fit inside the vehicle. And unfortunately, that mannequin is larger than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can fit in that driver compartment. So unfortunately, it doesn't comply with the World Solar Challenge, but our third car will most likely and most definitely comply with the World Solar Challenge.
That's a very big mannequin. I definitely don't think it would fit in Brizo. Can somebody talk about the different sub-teams that are on the team?
Yes, so we are broken up into 5 different groups. We have an electrical team, which Jared leads, the mechanical team, with Michaela leads, and then the strategy and telemetry team, which Alok leads. And we also have business and media teams that handle the operations side of what it takes to build a solar car.
There are definitely a lot of different parts of the team, and it's great to see everybody working together. Why did you choose this shape and tail, and why are the wheels covered on the car?
So the shape was chosen because it's a pretty common solar car design. It's much more aerodynamic, mostly keep as little surface area as possible, so we have as little drag as possible. And then the wheels are covered so that, same thing with aerodynamics, so that any corners or crevices that you have will drag the car more. So we want to cover as much as possible so we have the least amount of drag possible.
That's great. I think the aerodynamic design of this car will really help it be competitive in the race. We have one last question here for all of you. What is your favorite memory as being part of the team?
So in 2019, I was lucky enough to be a part of our Formula Sun Grand Prix race team. It was the summer after my first year on the race. So after only being on the team for a year, I was able to compete and be immersed in the solar car community that I've really grown to love. And after working on the car for a year and getting it driving up that first big hill at the Circuit of the Americas track in Austin was a really proud and exciting experience that I'll never forget.
For me, it's working with my teammates every day, basically. It's really nice to get to know everyone, meet lots of new people, and just work on this common goal together. So that's been my absolute favorite part of this experience.
For me, I think it has to be when we got Brizo rolling for the first time. It's just been a long time coming, and it's hard to describe the excitement and relief when we actually saw it roll. I think that was unbelievable. So.
Right, so I'm very proud of all the hard work that we put into Brizo. I think what I'll remember the most, though, is watching all of our members, especially our new members, grow and learn as engineers. And it's also great to know that the future of the team is in great hands.
Yeah, I know being part of this team has been one of the highlights of my college career, and I think we've all been really happy to be part of the team and enjoy working on this team a lot. Unfortunately, we're out of time for our panel. Thank you, everyone, for your great questions, and thank you all for your answers. If you have more questions and want to learn more about Brizo, you can always follow us on our social media, where we'll continue to share more about our car. I'll now turn it over to Tim, who will round out the event. Thank you, everybody.
I would like to end today by saying thank you to everybody who has helped us along the way. Brizo is the culmination of thousands of hours of work and hundreds of people. I would especially like to thank my teammates. You guys are the most incredible people I've ever met, and absolutely inspiring, and help me push me forward every day to accomplish greater and better things. Thank you guys. Illini Solar Car will continue to push the envelope of our imaginations and will continue to do the possible every day. Thank you for tuning into our Unveiling event, and have a nice rest of your day.